Hi everyone, let's talk about some months. March just finished, April just started. This is late. We're throwing them all into one. Videos that happened in March 1st, then things that are coming up in April. So, we had some playthroughs. Valeria Card Kingdom's Darksworn just finished on Kickstarter the other day. Valeria Card Kingdom's a fantastic game where you're building up a tableau of cards, rolling dice at the start of every player's turn. You'll get some things at the start of your turn, you'll get some things at the start of other people's turns as well. And this turns the whole game cooperative. So we are going through these storybooks, fighting for a common cause, collaborating of which cards to take and which enemies to take down. Really took the game to the next level. I think I really loved Valeria Card Kingdoms, but making anything co-op and making it work well as well is a fantastic step. The Magnificent Snow. Oh, it seems like it's a month of expansions. The Magnificent Snow is an expansion to the Magnificent, adds a new magician to the mix, a new type of camp that you can build. Marty's squirming and lying on his back now. It's just adds more and more stuff, more cards, more tiles to use, a new master board, which is a new action for every round of the game, where you take your normal dice actions and you can take a new action over there. And Magnificent was already fantastic, as you can see in my original playthrough. Now you can see a whole new solo playthrough for the Snow expansion. Tapestry, Plans and Ploys, again, did 2 players when it was originally out. Now the expansion is out. I've done a solo version covering how the Automa works and the new stuff in there. Just kind of tweaks and fixes. There are landmarks now that you can build where if you meet a certain criteria, you get your own special landmark building built as well as all the others. There's tapestry cards to mix in. There's a whole new set of civilizations that you can be. There are new behaviors for the Automa and stuff with the expansion, and as always, really, with Automa Factory, their solo variants are absolutely fantastic. Russian Railroads, German Railroads won the vote, or tied one of the votes for the channel in February, and it got its playthrough where it's the best version of Russian Railroads for me. It's all of the good stuff of Russian Railroads, but now your boards have great big gaps on them, and when you reach your rails to those spaces, you grab these modular bits, you fill in your own custom player board based on how you have been playing, based on the bonuses that'll be most beneficial for you. It works fantastically, and there's coal where you can take extra actions, and the German Railroads is what introduced Emil, the solo player. Finally, for the recorded playthroughs, it's Kanban EV that went up the other day. The reimagining of Kanban, my favourite Vital Lacerda game, who's one of my favourite designers. His games have kind of moved behind me now to make room for, well, it's for equipment, it's not to hide them. So I can hang something off these shelves. And they were in the way because they're massive. But yeah, Kanban EV, all about working in a car factory and trying to improve designs, trying to produce these cars and test them out. And all the while, we have Sandra, our boss, running through all of the worker placement spots, evaluating us in various departments and punishing the player who is slacking the most in that department. Or you can play a variant where it's Nice Sandra, where she rewards the person who's the best. But normal way to play is Mean Sandra, don't incur her wrath. And the solo variant is by David Tortzi of, Anachrony, of Kitchen Rush, of Tekenyu, of a million games, and a million solo variants. And yeah, this adds a more AI style of opponent in himself, Mr. Tortzi and Mr. Lacerda, who you are playing against this time, who are, every time they earn points, they lose you points, and if you reach the end of the week or the end of a meeting with no points, you will get fired. So you've got to play around them taking away things from you, but also taking away your points and trying to get you sacked, as well as punished by Sandra. But yeah, still my favourite Lacerda game for multiplayer, and the solo variant is absolutely fantastic as well. I started this month, I'll be talking about this maybe more a little bit later, but let's talk about it now. I started finally doing live playthroughs. I've done live Q&As before, I've done some digital things a little bit, but I finally cracked it, and by that I mean I don't know why it wasn't working last time I tried this. I finally made it work so I can use my actual cameras for live streaming, which means, yeah, it's just way better quality and works how I know it works, rather than trying to get these webcams to work and getting them all grainy and stuff. Regardless, live playthroughs started happening. I did a test with Dale of Merchants 3 where I was doing a 2-player game, so a playthrough of Dale of Merchants 3 is up there now. Mage Knight I did as well. I've been kind of teasing that for so long now. Is it about 9 months ago I bought Mage Knight back and learnt it all and got really super pumped about it, and then it didn't quite win enough in votes, never had time to do it, got pushed back and pushed back. Well, finally, I forgot how to play Mage Knight again, so I had to relearn again, but me doing the walkthrough is a full live playthrough of that, and there will be more Mage Knight coming. There will be another stream soon. Now I know the rules again, and now I've got them in my head of a proper game of it. And soon, for a special occasion that I'll talk about in a bit, there will hopefully be a live two-player playthrough with Paul Grogan of Gaming Rules, Mage Knight superfan and aficionado, and designer of the last two expansions for Mage Knight as well. So that will be exciting. And Ora et Labora, another an Uwe Rosenberg classic that has never had a playthrough yet. I am doing top 10 Uwe Rosenberg games very, very soon. And that was one I think I needed to brush up on. So there is a full playthrough of that now, and plenty more live playthroughs on the way. So from those that I've done so far, what do you think about these live playthroughs? So one thing that I've always been kind of... I want to make as many things as I can. Everything takes ages to make, especially the editing. And now that I've kind of cracked it and got this stuff working, I've done another one. Now it's April. But now I've done these just 4 live streams so far. I've had so much fun doing them. I've just done like 3 hours of playing the Gallerist, which we're in April now, so I shouldn't be talking about. But yeah, it just flies by. I'm having loads of fun playing them live. It's great having people there chatting and giving their advice and stuff, and having a chat afterwards and stuff, and just being there and having an audience, having some interaction. And not that we don't have great interaction afterwards in the comments and stuff, but yeah, it's also, that's kind of almost doubled the number of playthroughs that there would normally have been in the last few weeks. So what would you reckon to these live playthroughs? I know that the handheld isn't there, and they're longer because they're not edited and we're going through things live and stuff. But hopefully you can tune in for one live. They're all available on the replay. They're all available normally in the channel to watch afterwards, as well as playthroughs. What do you think about them? Because I would love to be making more of them and keep up kind of rattling through some of these games as well, that some of them have been hanging around for ages and ages, to be able to kind of film a live thing and have real fun doing it, and then that video is just up. It is just up live to watch, and it doesn't go through the... I've never been a fan of the editing part. Sometimes it is really fun. A lot of times it is just... It's mainly cutting silences out of videos and cutting out bits where I went wrong more. I might still go wrong in live playthroughs, but sometimes there are people telling me, you've done this thing wrong, you've forgotten this thing. So that's an advantage as well. But what do you reckon for the live things? What would you like to see? If you'd like to see more live playthroughs, what do you want to see me play? I was thinking that we'll talk about the anniversary thing in a minute. So we've done live things. And also there were overviews for Kickstarters. Oil Town, puzzly dice-based game, which unfortunately I saw have been cancelled, which is really gutting, because I think it's a fantastic, unique puzzle, and hopefully that comes back. And Eternal Palace, which is a dice drafting game in the vein of something like Kingsburg, but not really like Kingsburg, where you are making groups of dice to go to various locations and race up their tracks. And if you get to the top of their track, you get, your score is marked by these pieces of paintings, these layered paintings that come together and make your lovely vista as your score goes on, and you're trying to get as many of those as possible, as many as sequence as possible. You can see that, and there was a top 10 as well, my top 15 games of 2019, coming in a little bit late. It's 2021, but we get there eventually. I didn't do that one last year for reasons, and in the top 10 votes by my patrons, it won, and so we have filled in that gap, and I did an extra 5 just for luck. Speaking of Patreon, if you'd like to help me keep making this, the live playthroughs, the film playthroughs, everything that I do, it is all made possible thanks to the support of fantastic patrons. If you are able to and you fancy it, and you'd like to help me keep making these things, having the time to be here and film all of these games, it's patreon.com/slickerdrips. There'll be a link in the description. You, as well as keeping the channel going, there's benefits. There's a Discord. You get to vote on games. You get to see the film playthroughs early and stuff. a whole host of stuff. Hopefully you can get on board and we'll have a right laugh, won't we? Well, you'll see more game playthroughs if that's the more important factor. Patreon, it's great. It helps me do things. That was the recap. Moving on, segueing into a different video, but we'll just keep it all as one, right? I've been in this room all day, live streaming stuff for each wants to use a computer. Let's go. April marks, well, the end of April, I believe it's the 27th, will mark the 5th anniversary of the channel of Slickerdrips, of me doing playthroughs, of me sitting down with my phone on a little tripod. Where is that? That tripod at the moment is currently being the Marty cam and the live streams. Another bonus of the live streams, we get to switch to see what Marty is doing at the time. Sleeping. It's always sleeping. Different positions though. Yeah, on a cheap little tripod, filming tiny card games that I could fit in the frame of my phone's camera. Go back and see that, actually. Castles of Burgundy, the card game, is the very first one that I ever did. And so there'll be probably nostalgic, look-backy stuff towards the end of the month. I want to try and have some big week of videos for that anniversary week. But this whole month, it's the 5th anniversary of stuff. Thinking that I just did the Gallerist as well, you can see it out here, can't you? It's no secret. I just did the Gallerist as a live stream, and kind of coincidentally, I saw that I made the playthrough for this in 2016, in the first kind of 6 months of the channel. And yeah, maybe we'll revisit some other things. What are some other old playthroughs that you think I should go back and refresh on, or just do another one of? I just really wanted to play the Gallerist again. There was no like big outcry of do this. I just really, really fancied playing it. I get to go back to games sometimes. So yeah, there's going to be an anniversary of stuff. What would you like to see? Would you like to see some top 10s? Would you like to see some special stuff? If you've got any ideas, let me know, and I will see what I can do. I'll try and make it happen. But most of all, thank you for watching for this, especially if you've been here since the beginning. Who's been here a long, long time? Thank you for watching all of this time. Especially, growing it from just a couple of people watching the links on Board Game Geek for those few games that I've done, to growing it to, it's like 13,400 subscribers, I think, right now, which is, immense and unfathomable, and millions of views and stuff, and is just absolutely fantastic. And I've loved it. So thank you very much for letting me do this, and it's all thanks to all of the watching and the liking and subscribing and helping YouTube recommend me to other people and stuff, and yeah, word of mouth and Patreon, as I mentioned, and stuff. I won't keep hammering that home, but thank you very, very much for allowing me to do this, because it's fantastic, and being able to do it more and more has been better and better, and I would love to eventually do this as my main thing if I can. But let's see how that goes. So the other topic was live things. This is kind of written when it was going to be 2 separate videos, all of this list of stuff. March. So we talked about live things. There'll be live things coming up in April. At the moment, for the last couple of weeks, I've been able to do 2 a week. I don't know if I'll be able to keep that up, but yeah, hopefully. We'll do as many as I can. I will announce it on social media, and they will be scheduled on YouTube every Monday of what I plan to do for the week, and all of the videos that come up, as well as live streams. Try and get into more of an orderly system of what is coming up. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions for what you'd like to see on a live stream, I know I've had, as well as normal playthroughs and stuff, I've had a couple of requests now to do some more of the Choose Your Own Adventure stuff that I did at Christmas. In the live stream, just actually, requests for, play along, play against the audience and stuff. Any ideas you've got, just let me know. So Kickstarters that are coming up this month, there were a couple that I was talking about last month, actually. Buru and Age of Galaxy are actually coming this month now. But some others, One Card Wonder is a fantastic, well, as you might expect. You have a card and it's a wonder, and you are trying to build it. A really clever, tight, small little game coming from Ape Games. And there is, to the side of me, Dice Hospital sequel coming towards the end of the month on Kickstarter. Dice Theme Park. Different designers, but Alley Cat Games still, just from that. So let's move on to the kind of new arrivals and things that will be in the monthly vote you can have access to if you are a patron at the voter level or above. So first of all, we have got, hot off the heels of that top 15 of 2019 video, Maracaibo. The recommendation of things that I had not played, and there was an outcry that Maracaibo wasn't even mentioned in that video. I hadn't played it, so I have got Maracaibo now. It's Great Western Trail on boats. Alexander Pfister again. There's a great big campaign mode where you can play through chapters that's adding worker placement spots and stuff. Would you like to see a playthrough of Maracaibo, a lot of people's favourite game of 2019? And Taverns of Tiefenthal was the other one that kept getting mentioned, not nearly as much as Maracaibo, but it got mentioned quite a fey times. And by Wolfgang Warsch, who did tons of games in a great big one great big go. Quacks of Quedlinburg, among many other things that I can't remember right now, which is terrible, isn't it? But Taverns of Tiefenthal, kind of a push, well, not really push your luck, a strange deck builder, a beer serving, ale, I was trying to say, pub running deck building game. It's I've played it actually. I really, really surprisingly enjoyed it. Well, not surprisingly, but for something that I didn't really know much about and so didn't really expect anything from. Massively pleasantly surprised. Maglev Metro is the new game from Bezier Games and from designer Ted Alspach, who did Suburbia and the Castles of Mad King Ludwig, among other things. And this is a train game, which so far it's based on these magnetic levitation monorail-looking things, where we are trying to connect routes and stuff, but the tiles are all these transparent perspex things, and they've got our kind of, like the tube map, or mini metro kind of coloured lines on them, so you can overlap other people's tracks and stuff and try and get to places ahead of them. That's just arrived, so I don't know much more beyond that. Millennium Blades Collusion. There were a couple of requests a month or two ago for this. I have managed to get hold of a copy. Millennium Blades, I did a playthrough for the co-op, the set rotation expansion, a while ago now, probably. Collusion, from what I can make out from what I've looked through so far, tons more cards for a game that had a ton of cards anyway. Millennium Blades, if you're not familiar, is a game where we play as players of a fictional game called Millennium Blades, a CCG, a Magic the Gathering kind of thing, where we're players that are ravenously opening up new packs and making killer decks out of them to win tournaments. We basically play as those players. The packs are abstracted out into cards, and we have this real-time phase where all of the cash is stacks of cash rather than notes, where we are just throwing around cash like crazy, grabbing up all of these packs that are abstracted into single cards. So opening a pack is flipping it, and you don't have any commons and uncommons and stuff. You're just finding the rare that's in that pack, building up decks out of it to try and win tournaments. And then the expansion made it optionally co-op, where now you're customizing your deck to try and beat a big bad. And then Collusion is just a ton more stuff for it, and a ton more of these mini expansion stuff, which I'm missing one, by the way. If number 6, I didn't know there was one in between Kickstarters and stuff. I haven't got the complete thing, but would you like to see some more Millennium Blades Collusion, which is now, it's going to take up a Kallax. It's another game that I've got where it's going to take up pretty much a Kallax cube by itself. We have Venice by designers David Torzi, who I've already mentioned in this video, from every game ever, from Anachrony and Tekkenu and all of that good stuff, and the Rush games, of course. And he's teamed up with Andrei Novak, who was the head of NSKN Games that merged with Board and Dice, and he, in his own right, designed Versailles. I designed Praetor as well, which I don't think I've ever played, but Versailles was a fantastic rondel game, so looking forward to the team-up of those. And this is a game where we have gondolas that we are moving about, determining our actions, and there is an element of crime in it, of this Venetian Inquisition, that you can do more dodgy actions if you are willing to risk incurring their wrath as you go along. Can't wait to play that. Coldwater Crown, one that I've kind of just got off off a marketplace. I've just seen that it's for sale and thought, oh, maybe this is going to be a good solo game. Maybe all of that watching Gone Fishing, Bob Mortimer, Paul Whitehouse thing has rubbed off on me, and I wanted a fishing themed game, but it does solo as well, so maybe it'll work well for that. There's some push your luck involved. I don't know that much about it, but vinyl as well. I am fairly experienced in the world of record shops anyway, for sure. And vinyl is a kind of set collection game where we are rooting through the racks of record shops. The deck actually stands up in a cardboard replica of a wooden record crate as well. This is flicking through record racks, by the way. This is the official way that you flick through records. The weird finger walk. So yeah, vinyl is the base game, which is all that we've played so far. Is this nice set collecting thing, and then I've got some of these little box expansions for it. There's like British Invasion and Metal and 80s and stuff that seem to add all of their own little twists to it as well. So if you would like to see vinyl, let me know which expansion you'd like to see it with as well, because they seem to all play very differently. I have just, actually yesterday, had a package from Coiled Spring Games, who are filling in some gaps of games that I've wanted to try for a long time. In the case of Sushi Roll is the next one. In particular, we loved Sushi Go back in the day, and Sushi Roll is a dice drafting version of it. So yeah, can't wait to play that, and really enjoyed Kingdomino. I don't think we ever tried Queendomino, but either way, Kingdomino Duel, Kingdomino Roll and Write. I love Roll and Write games. You can find a million of them on this channel, so can't wait to see how it translates to that. And finally, this isn't here yet, and I didn't want to delay this video any further, but there is a care package on the way of a Steve Finn Kickstarter where he just had a load of different games to cater to any taste, that all in one go. So there is Nanga Parbat, which is a 2-player only game where we play as Sherpas that are trying to establish camps and hunt animals and stuff for explorers that are coming around. There is Mining Colony, which is an auction tile laying game where we're trying to build the best mining colony, and there is a solo mode for that, so it might be a solo video. Butterfly Garden, a set collection game where we are trying to get the best butterflies. There are numbered cards. If you play low numbered cards, you'll get to choose first, but you'll get fewer butterflies, but you can wait and have less choice but get more butterflies. And the one that's, I'm excited about all of this stuff, but most excited of the four for sure, Biblios, Quill and Parchment, which is the Biblios Roll and Write. I've already mentioned them this video, but I absolutely love Biblios. I love Biblios dice, perhaps not quite as much as original Biblios, which is getting re-released and re-themed. It's the Me and the King. It's you can see it on Board Game Geek where it's getting re-implemented as. So I need to try that out as well. But original Biblios, which I'm looking at, I'm not just looking into the middle distance there. I'm looking at Biblios over there. It's one that's hard to just do a playthrough by myself of, so it's never got one. But I think it's an absolutely fantastic game. And I can't wait to see how it translates into a roll and write. There will be more stuff as well as all of that. As I mentioned, there will be some kind of spectacular for the 5th anniversary towards the tail end of the month. There will be live streams. There will be at least guests. There will be Paul Grogan either this month or next month, whenever we can get it together to find a time to do an enormous Mage Knight stream together, because how long is Mage Knight going to take? A long time, right? But yeah, there will be more live things. There will be more recorded things. There will be more Kickstarter things. There will be a Q&A that I haven't done one for a while. We are going to rectify that. I have heard the request for it. It's just that time catches up with us all, doesn't it? And makes these things not happen. But it's going to happen. Live is the solution to everything, right? To some things. It's going to make more things happen. If you're down with it, of course. Let me know what you think about all of these things and more. What games are coming out that I should be playing? What have you been playing? What are your favourites? What are you having for tea tonight? I think we're having burgers. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye, everyone.